Welcome. We'll get started in 1 second.
Great, thanks so much. Welcome everyone to the 2023 U.S. Green Building Council's East North Central Region's Leadership Awards celebration. We are so excited that you're all joining us this evening or early this afternoon or late this afternoon to help us recognize exemplary projects all across our region, which includes Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. My name is Lana Kraus, and I am the Regional Director for the USGBC ENC region, and I will be our MC for tonight's festivities, along with my wonderful colleague, Mary Ellen Etienne. On behalf of Mary Ellen and myself and the rest of the USGBC team, we hope you enjoy our program and have some fun. So while you were joining, we asked some questions on the poll. So I just want to see if you guessed the right one or not. The first one is, what anniversary is USGBC celebrating this year? The answer that you all came up with is 10 years, but, 30 years was the winner. And that is correct. We are celebrating our 30th anniversary, and a little bit more about that coming up. Next question is, how many countries and territories have LEED projects? The answer is, let's see what you guys had. You all said 120, but that is incorrect. It's actually over 182 areas and growing. How many organizations are national members in USGBC? Looks like you all said around 5,700. That's incorrect. We are over 6,700 national members with thousands more of individual members. And then what state in our region was listed as a top 10 state? And you all are correct. Illinois came in at number 2 this year on the top 10 of our project list. And then what state in the country is the global leader in LEED certified schools? It's actually right here in our region, Ohio. Congratulations to them. And how many LEED certified projects are there worldwide? And you guys are a smart group. 50% said over 100,000, and that is accurate. So great guesses, everyone. All right, so moving on, in addition to Mary Ellen and myself, we will be joined by Rhiannon Jacobson. She is the Managing Director for the U.S. Market Transformation and Development Team. And we will also have the privilege of being joined by our keynote, Anjali Halava, and she is USGBC's board chair. So we'll give her a formal introduction coming up. So on behalf again of USGBC, I'm so excited for us to gather today in this digital format to celebrate some tremendous accomplishments across our region. The projects we're going to recognize really exemplify the importance of focusing on health, sustainability in the places where we live, learn, work, and play. This event is a wonderful opportunity for us to really come together and celebrate these accomplishments and the growth of LEED throughout our region. We are home to over 4,800 LEED certified commercial projects representing 765 million square feet of green buildings, and additionally over 62,000 LEED residential projects representing over 81 million square feet. Those are impressive numbers, and a lot of it's thanks to all of you, so congratulations. We also have 12 certified LEED for cities, with more planning to certify in the coming year. USGBC is proud to support these amazing projects and teams that are creating a happier and healthier environment. And we're excited to celebrate some of those projects today. So hopefully you will join me in celebrating. Again, this is a celebration. So grab a glass of wine, a cocktail, a beer, water, coffee, whatever it is, so that you can cheers throughout the evening. Today, we will hear from individual leaders around the region, from Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio, and beyond, to discuss their inspiring work on the green buildings. And we're honored to recognize the projects with outstanding achievement in green building design, construction, and operations. These amazing projects that will be highlighted today, along with so many others, help to define what sustainability is. And I'm so proud to be a part of this movement. As mentioned earlier, USGBC is celebrating our 30th anniversary, and I'm so proud that in January, I will be celebrating my 20th year with this organization. I'm overjoyed when I get to tell people about the work I do and that I get to be a part of, and I can't tell you how proud I am to tell my children daily that I'm working and doing everything I can to make this planet better and safer and healthier for them and all the following generations. I know you all feel the same, so thank you for being on this journey along with me. So the work we do is important, and I feel privileged to be able to be a part of this and work with all of you. So keep up the great work and push the limits to create and operate beautiful, healthy, and safe buildings. So during our awards presentation, Mary Ellen and I will recognize a few of our amazing volunteers and partners, as well as recognize recognizing 9 stellar projects and 6 honorable mentions from around our region. Each of the award recipients will give a few remarks, and then we will end the evening with opportunity for some networking. So definitely stay on. I'd like to acknowledge how thankful we are for all of our wonderful USGBC volunteers who really help support our work every day in their local communities. We couldn't do it without you. We'd also like to thank all of our members, project administrators, stakeholders, and others who advance green building work in their daily efforts. So thank you. We also want to tremendously thank our generous sponsors who make this programming throughout the year and education offerings possible. I'd like to also take a moment to thank our ENC region sponsor, Soul Design and Consulting. Soul is a leader in sustainable design, green affordable housing, and high performance retrofits, and they are based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Next, I would like to thank our USGBC Detroit region annual sponsors. Thank you. Our Indiana annual sponsors, and our USGBC Ohio annual sponsors. All of their support helps make our ongoing work possible. We truly thank each and every one of you. And if you want to get involved yourself with your organization, please just let us know. So now I'm very excited to turn it over to my colleague and my very dear friend, Rhiannon Jacobson. Again, she's the Managing Director of the U.S. Market Transformation and Development Team, and she's going to be giving us some opening remarks. So Rhiannon, I will turn it over to you.
Excellent. I was about to say good evening, and I guess we're not quite into evening. Good afternoon, beginning of evening. To everybody that's here today, thank you so much for prioritizing this event and spending time with all of us. We could not be more grateful. So on to a piece that Lana mentioned before, 30 years of USGBC. What does that mean? And because we're in a virtual setting, I'm going to encourage everybody to kind of signify in the chat how long you've been involved with USGBC. So either working on a project, volunteering, being one of our market leaders. I think it's always a fun kind of metric. I encourage my team to talk about this. I have been with USGBC for 17 of those 30 years, and I am extremely proud of it. It's worth noting this accomplishment, this anniversary is everyone's accomplishment anniversary. So please be as excited as we all are when we talk about it as employees of the organization. Certainly our market leaders, our volunteers, we couldn't have gotten here without all of you. So tonight we'll celebrate the amazing projects in the ENC region and certainly 30 years of excellence overall. So what does that look like by way of kind of how we're going to celebrate 30 years? Well, if you missed it, and I hope that you didn't, but it is all over social media. We've got an article on it. One of the special ways that we were able to celebrate our 30th anniversary was being able to ring the bell at the New York Stock Exchange. This is an image from that event. You can tell that it is joyful. And I can tell you that everybody there could not have been more excited. It was an amazing experience, and certainly iconic to be able to see our logo everywhere and people really celebrating the work that we do. Bank of America served as our host. Our president and CEO, Peter Templeton, was able to ring the opening bell. And this esteemed opportunity really commemorated our anniversary and our community's role in creating the green building industry. The opening bell, as you know, marks a significant milestone in USGBC's journey to transform the built environment and drive market transformation through green building leadership. All right, Greenbuild. For anybody that's ever heard me talk about Greenbuild, I want to be very clear. This is one of my absolute favorite weeks of the year. Christmas probably edging it out just a little bit. I cannot encourage you enough to join us for Greenbuild, which will be here in USGBC's home, my home, Washington, D.C., September 26th through the 29th. We'll be continuing our 30th year anniversary celebrations, along with providing education and networking with thousands of building professionals. We'll also be sharing details about the LEED version 5 rating system. And you're right, I just said LEED version 5. We're going to show you the first look at that rating system. We're also going to let you take a peek at our new integrated hub, otherwise known as LEED Online, that is going to work to better the user experience and streamline the certification process. Greenbuild is going to be an event that you do not want to miss, and we hope that we all see you there. All right, why am I showing you a map with lots of names? There is a reason, kind of a method to this madness. I want to take a moment to share the support that we have for our stakeholders across the U.S. Today, we're celebrating the East North Central region with Lana and Mary Ellen, really providing that leadership and support. But it's worth noting because we know so many of you are working in other states. You have colleagues across the country, maybe even just one kind of state over. We have staff located across the entire US to really help promote sustainability and ensure that project teams have the support that's needed to achieve their goals. So please reach out to Lana and Mary Ellen or myself, and we can make sure we can connect you with somebody that's on the ground and really able to supply information about that local community and opportunities within it. All right, so you're going to hear a lot of thank yous tonight. We can't say thank you enough at USGBC, so we're going to make sure we say a couple more thank yous. These are just a couple of images, really, of what we have listed as our amazing community members in action. Our team is not able to offer all of the education, the events, the expertise without the amazing support of our volunteers. Thank you to each one of you that have helped to make an impact in your local communities. Obviously, there are tons more photos than these. These are just a few really to be emblematic of that. But again, thank you so very much. Thank you for prioritizing what we do and our organization. And we are much better because of all of your efforts. All right, another kind of area that I want to celebrate, because we're going to be talking today about exemplary projects. Those projects that we're talking about tonight are all through the East North Central region. We also work to celebrate lead projects and teams throughout the year with plaque ceremonies. Thank you to those that have invited us to share in your celebrations and to share your knowledge and information with others. This is one of the best ways that we are able to communicate what we do. I'm going to point out just a couple, or I'm going to point out one in particular because I think it's extremely important. You'll see the top left, this is Ohio's 400th LEED certified school celebration. What a milestone, and really what an opportunity for us to be able to celebrate that level of leadership. All right, moving from there, this is something that I love to do the most. We are at a celebratory event. I will mention I am in our office, so I have coffee instead of champagne, but I will be toasting you all in just a bit. So congratulations again to all of you that have helped us reach 30 years. This includes our project owners, those teams, our volunteers, our stakeholders, partners, market leaders that have joined us on this journey. Cheers to the future, and thank you for being a part of it. Cheers. I wish that we were all together to be able to do that in person. All right, moving from there, I now have what is a great opportunity to introduce our keynote speaker for the evening. Aniela Hlova is a real estate developer with 20 years of experience in the built environment. She's the founder of Adre, an equity-centered development company formed with the purpose of developing projects that create social and economic benefits for groups that traditionally lack access to real estate ownership and investment. Her firm is a certified woman-owned, minority-owned, and emerging small business in the state of Oregon. For 12 years, Aniela was a partner with Project, a Pacific Northwest development company, where she focused on shepherding projects through entitlements and construction. During her tenure, she delivered over $110 million in award-winning sustainable market rate housing, student housing, homes for sale, retail, and offices for mission-driven organizations. Of note is her role as development lead for the R&D framework, the first wood high-rise to be permitted in the US, and a catalytic force for the US mass timber industry. Her project for the headquarters of the Meyer Memorial Trust, one of Oregon's largest foundations, received a ULI Americas Award for Excellence for being a top 10 development in North and South America, and the US Green Building Council Leadership Award in 2021. Probably should have led with that award. Aniela is an alum of Cornell University, MIT, and Harvard. The Urban Land Institute named her 40 under 40 as one of the best young land use professionals from under the globe, and GRIS 50 identified her as an emerging leader in climate, equity, and sustainability. She currently serves as chair of Oregon's Land Conservation and Development Commission and chair of the US Green Building Council. Aniela, thank you for your service to this organization. And with that, I will turn it over to you.
Nice, thank you. Thanks for having me. I much prefer seeing people in an audience than doing things on Zoom, especially now, but I'm happy that I can be remote and join you and talk about the organization and you get to know me a little bit. So I'm going to talk about a lot of different things. I'm going to talk about kind of my past, how I got to this place, my focus within the board and I'll tell you more about that. And then also some of the things that were highlighted earlier about the future of our organization and the things that we're focused on leading up to September Greenbelt. So look forward to sharing more. And on this first slide, I just wanted to say, this is our board of directors. And so I'm joined by an amazing group of professionals that care a lot about all of the issues that I'm going to discuss today. So good afternoon. I'm Aniela Halova, and I'm the chair of the U.S. Green Building Council Board of Directors. And I'm honored to be addressing you at today's Leadership Award ceremony for USGBC's East North Central regions communities in Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. These annual awards recognize leadership and commitment to the green building industry and spotlight exemplary work, I'm sure as you know, that has been influential in the expansion of sustainable higher performance buildings. And USGBC's mission relies on the passion and commitment of our community, the one we have here today. And these awards spotlight those who've gone above and beyond for paving the way for the next chapter of green building. And we're going to hear all about these amazing awards shortly. I'm excited to hear about them myself. And so before I get into that, I wanted to take a moment to talk about the moment I believe we are all in as a people, as communities, and as a nation. So public awareness and understanding and acceptance of the world's climate change reality has been influenced by obviously our work, but increases in media coverage, government policy, and attention to energy efficiency and renewables. And unfortunately, the unfortunate reality of living in climate chaos, including heightened natural disasters that affect people's well-being and livelihood, most often for the most marginalized people and communities. So even within the last 10 years, I think all of you have seen like a huge shift in, there was a lot of fighting, is climate change really happening? And I think, I would say most people have sort of accepted that now. You don't really have a choice. The good news is that for the first time in our collective history, green building is now recognized as a large part of the solution to climate change. And there's a growing public realization that building, construction, and operations have continued to contribute significantly to greenhouse gas emissions, and that those of us in the field of the built environment are in a unique position to be leaders in what I call the next generation green movement, which for me should be really centered on environmental justice and equitable outcomes. And so as we celebrate USGBC's 30th anniversary this year, and we recognize that it is our strength of our community that has really propelled the green building movement to where we are today, but that there's so much more that we all need to do. And so the UN Environmental Program emphasizes the need to reduce emissions from the building sector by 50% by 2030. And I'm just going to do a little interlude where I remember thinking 2030 was a really long time away. It's not feeling so long right now. And so 50% by 2030 to meet the global net zero CO2 emissions targets by 2050. As building professionals, and in some case policymakers, me being in that category, the responsibility to accelerate the pace of emission reduction rests upon us. And then the question is really like, how are we going to pull this off? And I believe it's going to take us leveraging our collective expertise, influence, commitment, and passion to not only drive wholesale market transformation, which we've been trying to do, but also to galvanize others to join us in our quest, a whole new generation. And so now if you need some inspiration, I would say just look at a 15-year-old girl with little influence or power who sat in front of a government building in Sweden every day protesting climate change until the world, literally the world, including me, started paying attention to her message. Or you could look at a famous woman in her 80s who chose to utilize her many privileges to get arrested on her birthday to bring a spotlight to the movement. And for those of you that heard Jane Fonda speak at last year's Green Building conference, you are truly blessed. I think you'll understand that if you saw her speak. And then these faces of the two that I mentioned are kind of the people who have received international attention for their work. But there are mothers, community leaders, nonprofits, businesses working on the ground in their communities, pushing initiatives, changing policy, and in many cases, demanding funding for their communities, many of which are Black and Brown communities and people. And those folks are seeing the effects of climate change a little too close to home. For many of these, it's a matter of life and death, or life in thriving, or illness and sickness. And I believe that those of us in the green building industry need to stop thinking of ourselves as being in a status quo industry, which the building industry is quite considered that, and to start to think of ourselves as activists in a subversive movement, because it will take just that type of thinking to meet these goals. We know what is needed to save our world and its lives, and it's going to take that thinking. And so as a USGBC member, I'm proud and inspired by the work of our communities of architects, engineers, contractors, manufacturers, developers, owners, and other stakeholders from all sectors, and what we're doing to advance sustainability in our communities and across the globe. In the face of daunting climate changes and uncertainty in the real estate market in 2023, USGBC is redefining how we best position and equip ourselves to provide the greatest value to the communities we serve, really thinking about the people. So we spent the last 3 decades working across the building industry to minimize practices that contribute to climate change, waste and pollution, land and resource degradation, poor occupant and community health, and other impacts by maximizing the adoption and benefits of green building. USGBC is continuing to drive toward environmental sustainability, but with a heightened focus on health and wellness, social equity, and climate resiliency across the built environment. In fact, those 4 themes represent USGBC's strategic focus, both internally in how we're structuring our organization, but also externally in terms of the market and the built environment. And so, as a global organization, we need to advocate for strong global solutions, whether backed by LEED or any other product, tool, or partnership at our disposal. And I know we are all very proud of what LEED has helped us to achieve, but we have just begun. And the work we are all doing to transform the built environment is more important now than ever before. I fully believe, and this is why I'm here, that the world is a better place with a strong and effective organization and green building community. And as an equity-focused real estate developer, an educator, and a public official as chair of Oregon's Land Conservation and Development Commission, I'm incredibly passionate about USGBC's mission. And so, as a little background about myself and what motivated me to serve on USGBC's board, in 2020, I founded Audrey. It's a real estate development firm in Portland, Oregon. And it was mentioned before that we seek to create a prosperous life for people and groups that traditionally lack access to real estate ownership and investment. Audrey means the number 7 in the West African language of Ewe, and pays homage to tribal and First Nations communities that value the importance of thinking 7 generations ahead on how our society's actions affect our communal and environmental well-being. Before I started Audrey, I worked as an urban designer specializing in downtown master plans for cities in the Caribbean and urban green infrastructure projects in the US, like the Beltline project in Atlanta. And then I managed projects for 2 mission-driven real estate development firms, one in which I was a partner for 12 years, leading the Meyer Memorial Trust headquarters project, which you can see in the bottom left-hand corner. And that project won the 2021 USGBC Leadership Award and the 2022 Urban Land Institute America's Award for Excellence. What was amazing about that project is that I had the privilege to partner with Meyer, a foundation that is the leader in equitable giving practices and investments in Oregon. So having a client that cares about these issues is equally as important to the work that we are all trying to do. In my role today, I seek to understand how developments can advance racial equity and economic development objectives while being stewards of the environment. So how am I going about doing this? It's by considering every aspect of the project. Who owns the land? Who develops it? Who designs the buildings? Who constructs them? Who occupies them? And ultimately, who owns them? How can buildings contribute more toward equitable social outcomes? And so my company partners with Black, Indigenous, and people of color landowners, nonprofits, and has set a goal to ensure that 30% of the construction dollars are awarded to BIPOC or women-owned businesses, and strives to have buildings that are 50% owned by people of color and women. As a Black woman, I don't see many people that look like me in real estate roles. According to the recent New York Times article, only 1% of real estate developers are either Black and Latinx or Latinx, which make those two groups make up 23% of the US population. It's really bad, that stat. I added some other stats on the slide that you can see that talk about specifically on the Black community, diversity in architecture, construction, or lack of diversity in those industries. And so in the United States, the real estate development industry has historically been one of exclusion, with typical development irreverent to communities of color, the environment, and placemaking. Additionally, when development is good, the benefits are usually reserved for a select few, namely the wealthy. Yet the climate crisis continues to have a disproportionate impact on low-income people and communities of color. Being a leader in equitable development, I want to create projects that inspire other developers to think, yes, I can do that too. The work we do every day, be it architecture, city planning, design, real estate development, greatly shape the environment we live in. And in response to climate chaos and social injustice, our industries must launch a more resilient building industry. It's about including our community members and not forgetting or excluding them. The idea of social sustainability is what motivated me to serve on the U.S. Green Building Council's board. All of us are here today because of the change that we are making in our organizations, projects, and communities. It's people like yourselves who have helped prove what is possible. I'd like to take a minute to talk about what the USGBC is doing this year. This is a big year for us, not just because of the anniversary, but also because there is so much change around us, and our organization is evolving to meet those changes and needs. And not only in our organization, but also with our tools and programs. So first, I will talk about the future of LEED. As you know, we've been engaging with our members and lead practitioners in multiple discussions, which has led to the development of key principles that the future versions of LEED must address. The principles being, we're trying to increase scale to maximize impact, accelerate progress in decarbonizing the built environment. Third, prioritizing climate adaptation and resilience. Fourth, targeting investments in human health and well-being. And then promoting greater diversity, equity, and inclusion, as I mentioned before. And then supporting regenerative practices for flourishing ecosystems. Earlier this year, USGBC refined its LEED committee structure to bring in more volunteers and harness the power of our community more than ever before to ensure LEED's rigor and relevance in the market. We also added working groups to address specific areas of focus within the LEED framework, such as urban sustainability, DEI, and resilience. Overall, these changes will ensure that the next version of LEED will continue to be a powerful tool. LEED version 5 will represent a paradigm shift in the green building movement, forging new connections between LEED and crucial global imperatives. This transformative version of LEED will advance the built environment's alignment with the targets outlined in the Paris Agreement, addressing critical imperatives. We plan to preview LEED version 5 at Greenbuild this year and share draft requirements for LEED version 5 for existing buildings at Greenbuild 2023. In our pursuit of continuous improvement, we have also launched, and this was mentioned before, a single streamlined, we are also launching, we haven't launched it yet. We are also launching a single streamlined technology platform at Greenbuild. This platform will enhance the LEED certification process by reducing the documentation burden while maintaining the rigor of third-party verification. And I think I'm in the very much the practitioner mode, so I am sort of at the receiving end of a lot of this, so I'm really excited about this. It will provide a smoother and more intuitive certification process, addressing the long-standing requests from our community. We will continue to make refinements and add features to the platform over time for it to enhance our capabilities for data management, reporting, and validation of performance improvements across buildings and portfolios. Speaking of portfolios, Many of you know that the USGBC and GBCI boards made a joint commitment to drive building performance improvements at scale. We recognize that not every asset within a portfolio can meet the current LEED certified project requirements. However, goals can be applied to guide and measure progress of portfolios over time. This holds particularly true for existing buildings where transformation has been challenging due to market barriers. By guiding and validating performance improvements of existing buildings, we strengthen green financing and ESG initiatives, creating momentum and value for building green. Our goal is to assist you and your clients in achieving your ESG commitments and propelling the market forward at an accelerated pace. So I had mentioned this before, scale, given the urgency of our climate situation is an imperative, and leaning into existing buildings. And so earlier I mentioned diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI for short, and I would like to take a moment to discuss our USGBC initiatives in this area, both within the USGBC and across the built environment. We're calling the efforts within the organization DEI, or diversity, equity, inclusion, and we're calling the work that we do externally more on the equitable outcome side. And so our vision is to create a future where the built environment supports equitable access to resources and opportunities and provides healthy, resilient, affordable, and accessible space for all. And so over the past year, with the board's support from both boards, we have undertaken an assessment of our own policies and practices, so an internal look, as well as identified opportunities to promote equity in the built environment through our external work. This is a long-term commitment, and we are just at the start. So last year, we released a joint DEI vision statement to guide our efforts. And so I'm going to read the statement, and I would love for everybody to really think about what I'm saying, because it's actually a very powerful statement, and with the powerful statement comes responsibility. And so it is, and this is USGBC and GBCI's joint statement. It is our vision that our work provides equitable access to the benefits of green buildings to all, including people who have been denied or without access due to their race, sex, identity, age, disability, or socioeconomic background. And so then the next part is like, how do we do that? Our workplace and the global built environment are transformed to be equitable and inclusive through consistent dismantling of systems that enable these barriers, particularly for marginalized people and under-resourced frontline communities, disproportionately burdened by the health and well-being and financial impacts of poor indoor environmental quality, environmental hazards, and climate change. And so I wanted to say that the group, internal and also internal to the organization, and also the board, spent a lot of time thinking about each one of those words and what they meant and what was the intent behind that. So very bold statement. It's a powerful statement that shows how intentional we are on this effort. We are creating internal mechanisms to hold ourselves accountable from within, and we welcome our external partners to hold us accountable as we roll out this work. We are expanding our partnerships and actively incorporating the concept of equitable outcomes into the LEED rating system by revising intents, including equity questions in the integrative process credit, and developing new pilot credits. Members from across our organization are involved in evaluating current policies and procedures, increasing awareness and knowledge, identifying best practices and improving opportunities, defining goals and impact metrics, very big impact metrics. We all know how important metrics are, and establishing mechanisms for progress reporting. We're committed to sharing our learning, progresses, challenges, and successes in this vital work. And so one of the places where we're going to do that is Green Build in DC this September. We're only 3 months out, and we hope to see many of you there this year. Not only will it be the site where many of these announcements will play out, but Green Build will also feature USGBC's 30th anniversary celebration, which only happens once, and it's this year. USGBC and Informa, our conference partners, have a fantastic week planned. So my fellow green building advocates, let's embrace this moment with renewed vigor. We stand at a pivotal moment in history where our collective efforts can shape a better future for generations to come. And so together, we will continue to build a world where sustainability is not just a buzzword, I think all of us don't like that when it's a buzzword, but a way of life, and one that includes both environmental and social outcomes. And so we don't want equity to become a buzzword either. We will construct communities that are inclusive, resilient, and environmentally responsive. Our work will transcend borders, cultures, and industries, leaving a lasting impact on the global built environment. I have unwavering faith in the transformative power of the green building movement and community. We are architects of change, we're engineers of possibility, and builders of a sustainable future. So let's march forward, united by our shared vision, driven by our commitment. Thank you, and let's continue to inspire and make a difference. And now we're going to hear some exciting news on who won what award. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Anjali. I really appreciate all those remarks and thoughts. So thanks for sharing those with us today. So now we are going to move on.
You are echoing. I'm going to put you on mute and unmute and see if that works.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure what's happening there, but thanks for letting me know. The fun of virtual worlds. So, okay, thank you so much, Anjali. That was wonderful and inspirational, and it's great to hear about your background and everything that you're doing on your work with USGBC. So thank you also for volunteering your time to help support our organization. So we are going to move forward, and I'd like to first start out by thanking our fantastic group of volunteer jury members. I want to give a special shout out to them for taking the time to review the projects in order to select our fantastic award winners this year. We had a large amount of entries, the largest we've ever had. So they had a lot of work cut out for them, but thank you so much for all of that time and dedication. Now it's time to acknowledge and celebrate the time and effort put in by other volunteers, leaders, and our regional partners. Mary Ellen and I know firsthand how the service of our volunteers is critical to everything we accomplish here in the region. We'd also like to take a shout out to give a shout out to the hardworking members of our Market Leadership Advisory Boards, which we use the acronym of MLABs, and a special thank you to all the volunteers who've stepped into the leadership positions of our local communities. Our thanks to our volunteers of the Detroit Region MLAB, which is chaired by Lily Gonzalez of Senair. Next, we'd like to thank all of our members of the USGBC Indiana MLAB, which is chaired by Hannah Fleck of JQOL. And lastly, we'd like to thank our members of our USGBC Ohio MLAB, which is chaired by Todd Hager of OFCC. Then, last but not least, we'd like to thank our staff and boards of our aligned chapters, Illinois Green and the USGBC West Michigan chapter. So thank you all for your involvement in everything you do to promote sustainability. So now let's kick off our awards ceremony portion of the event. We will begin by going over the award categories, and then we'll announce our honorable mentions and then the award recipients by state. We will ask the representatives from each of the awards to tell us a key takeaway or a fond memory from that project. And note that we will have time for networking at the end, so please stay with us, celebrate, grab a drink so we can cheers the winners along the way, and we will go ahead and jump into things. So we have 4 award categories for 2023. The first 3 categories were open to projects certified since January of 2020, and the final category recognized projects certified before 2020. Those are our legacy awards. So first we have the Green Building of the Year Award for LEED BD&C, which is Building Design and Construction, which celebrates construction projects that demonstrate the use of new technologies and strategies to push the envelope of green design and meet project challenges in an innovative way. Next up is the Green Building of the Year for LEED O&M, which is Operations and Maintenance. It celebrates existing buildings, projects that demonstrate a significant increase in building performance through the implementation of sustainable design solutions. Next, we have the Green Building of the Year for LEED for Homes, which celebrates residential projects that demonstrate a significant increase in building performance through the implementation of sustainable design solutions. And then next is that larger category for the Green Building Legacy Award. And this celebrates a building that was constructed, renovated, or operated within the last 20 years and is innovative and sustainable practices while pursuing and pushing the envelope of sustainability in design and development. Now for the moment we've been waiting for. We're going to start out with Illinois, and I would first like to announce and congratulate our honorable mentions for the awards. The first honorable mention of the evening is the Siebel Center for Design. This LEED version 2009 BD&C Gold project in Champaign, Illinois, provides an inclusive, high-performance hub for all students and faculty to practice, model, and teach design thinking through experimentation, prototyping, and moving forward with just general education. So congratulations to them. Next honorable mention is the Clark Flourishing Garden. This LEED 2009 BD&C Platinum project in Roselle, Illinois, aspires to help businesses prosper, coworkers thrive, and nature flourish. Smart planning and renewable energy also helps the wider community by returning over 75,000 kilowatt hours to the local grid. So congratulations to both of these fantastic projects. Next, for our award winners. The first one is our LEED Building and Design Construction Award, and we're thrilled to recognize 800 Fulton Market. This almost 500,000 square foot LEED V4 BD&C Platinum project in Chicago, Illinois is a mixed-use project that features optimized mechanicals and systems monitoring that advance the project's goals for sustainability and prioritizes the occupant wellness through nature, technology, and design. On behalf of 800 Fulton Market, Kevin Rodingkirk, Associate Principal of Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, will offer remarks. Kevin, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. And on behalf of Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, I would like to thank the USGBC recognizing the 800 West Fulton project. I'd also like to thank the development team of Thor Equities out of New York, who recognized from the start the critical importance of high performance design. With DVHMS as the MEP engineer and energy modeler on the project, we were able to test design options as early as the concept design phase that would enable us to reach our energy goals much later on. That LEED Platinum and Well Gold with low embodied carbon, direct access landscape terraces, and net zero operational carbon. 800 West Fulton is one of the most sustainable office buildings in the city of Chicago. So thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and congratulations again. Our next award winner for Illinois is for the Green Building of the Year for Operations and Maintenance. And we're very excited to announce the Adelaide E. Stevenson High School East Building Edition. This 75,000 square foot LEED V2009 BD&C and Ebon Platinum High School Edition in Lincolnshire, Illinois, achieved net zero energy through system efficiencies and a 585 kilowatt photovoltaic array. The design included daylighting and views, living walls, and a roof garden with a greenhouse, which puts education on full display. On behalf of Adelaide E. Stevenson High School, Megan Zack, the Chief Sustainability Officer at Wright & Company, will offer remarks. Megan, congratulations.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for this award. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of in front of me there. The high school campus first received LEED for existing buildings O&M in 2011, and then it was recertified in 2016, and again in 2021 using ARC V4. The LEED Platinum and Net Zero Building Edition awarded in 2020 was part of that 2021 ARC V4 Gold certification and improved the campus-wide EUI because this edition included that large solar array that you mentioned on the rooftop. I'd like to give a shout out to our client, Sean Carney, who is the principal of Stevenson, for playing an active role and encouraging our team throughout the whole process. I'd also like to thank the integrated design team at White & Company, which included architecture, interior design, MEP engineering, sustainability, energy modeling, and structural engineering, our construction partner at Gilbane, and our commissioning agent at Aero Building Solutions. We all know that it takes a team to achieve high levels of certification, so thank you.
Fantastic. Congratulations to that team. And cheers to both of you and all of our amazing projects in Illinois. All right, we will now move to our friends in the East and celebrate the honorable mentions in Michigan. Our honorable mention is in the category of LEED for Operations and Maintenance, and we are very happy to recognize the Tanger Outlets of Grand Rapids. The owners believe LEED certification for its outlets is important to the market because it demonstrates implementing sustainability measures at existing retail facilities can be good for the environment and good for business. We believe that the LEED V4.1 O&M project exemplifies this goal. So congratulations to your team. Now for the awards in Michigan. First up is our Lead Building Design and Construction Award. And we're thrilled to recognize Wayne State University STEM Innovation Learning Center. This over 120,000 square foot LEED BDMC Gold higher education building features flexible classrooms and labs with low emitting material furniture, water efficient fixtures, compost bins, and gorgeous views. I've personally been in this space. I've toured it. It's a beautiful space. I would love to be a student there. So congratulations to all of them. On behalf of Wayne State STEM team, Ashley Flintoff, Director of Planning and Space Management at Wayne State University, will offer remarks. Ashley.
Thank you so much. And we're so excited for our award, which it's a little hard to see. I'm in the building, so I apologize if there's a little bit of an echo, but it felt like I needed to be here to accept this award. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our partners, especially since we worked through a pandemic to bring this building to fruition. So our architects and interior designers at NOR, our engineers at Fishbeck, Catalyst, who was our sustainability and commissioning and just all around kind of magicians, our construction managers at Granger, and all of our students and faculty and staff who poured over 8 years of effort into bringing this project into fruition. This was an existing 1970s science and engineering library that we completely gutted and turned into a state-of-the-art center for STEM innovation and learning. We originally targeted silver. We were thrilled to be able to push it up to gold and to deliver a building that our students absolutely adore. Just a few numbers, because I think it's really important and really, really impactful. This was a 91.66% total building reuse. We diverted 58.5% of construction waste, 31% indoor water reduction, and 16% energy cost reduction, which adds up to about $73,193 annually that we saved this building. And then just a shout out to our sustainability office and our students, who I know a couple of them are on right now. This was one of our first buildings on our campus to be part of our campus compost program. And to date, we've collected over 450 pounds of food waste from this building that has turned into compost and then is reused in the city and on our campus. So thank you so much. Our team was amazing, and we're really thrilled to get this award.
Fantastic. Congratulations. It is well deserved. All right, moving on to the next award. In the category of Lead for Homes, we are thrilled to recognize the Creamery. This almost 60,000 square foot Lead for Homes Platinum mixed use affordable multifamily housing project focused on providing healthy and sustainable housing with accessible childcare. So we will move over to that slide so you can see the image. If it's sticking, there we go. And so on behalf of the Creamery, I'm going to invite Matt Hollander, President of Hollander Development, who will offer remarks. Matt, are you with us?
I'm here. Hey, everybody.
Great.
Thank you very, very much for recognizing this project. I'm sure many of us worked on our projects through COVID, and there's a little bit of a delay here, but it's super appreciated. I have to start by thanking our team. I know we have some folks on from Catalyst Partners, also Bison Associates, architects and engineers out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, Frederick Construction, Huntington Bank, the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, Kalamazoo Community Fund, Stryker Johnston Foundation, and YWCA Kalamazoo, amongst many others. This is one of the first affordable housing projects in Michigan that is all electric on the residential side. We have PV, we have green roof, we have green walls, we have continuous insulation, we have everything that we needed to make it to platinum and more. We also have Michigan's first comprehensive early learning center with first, second, and third shift emergency drop-off services that's operated by YWCA Kalamazoo. So we're thrilled about this project, and we're thrilled about the award. Thank you very, very much.
Fantastic. Congratulations again. Very cool project. Okay, and now moving on to our next project. In the category of Green Building Legacy Award, we are so pleased to recognize the Van Andel Institute Phase 2. This over 240,000 square foot LEED BDNC Platinum Research Facility in Grand Rapids, Michigan, cemented its legacy as an iconic pillar of design and sustainability through Phase 2 development. of its Biomedical Life Science Research Center. On behalf of Van Andel Institute, Samuel Pinto, Vice President and Chief Facilities Officer at the Institute, will offer remarks. Sam.
Thank you. First and foremost, I want to thank the USGBC for recognizing this project as for a legacy award. And I want to provide a shout out to the consultants that were involved in making this project achieve this level of sustainability. The architect was Raphael Vignoli out of New York. The MEP engineers were WSP Flack and Kurtz, and our lead and commissioning consultant was Fishbeck. And then there was a joint venture on the construction manager side of Hunt Construction Group and Owen Ames Kimball. Again, thanks to that group of consultants for making this what it is. As you can see by the picture, there's a number of sustainable elements that were provided for in this project. We have some green roofs, photovoltaic panels. There's a lot of glass, so we used a lot of daylight harvesting via our lighting controls. We also had a stormwater storage tank that collected water off of the roofs for reuse for irrigation and makeup water. We incorporated demand controlled ventilation in the labs. And early in the onset, there was a lot of modeling that was used with real data that was collected from the existing building. And it helped us to implement energy reducing strategies. And that led to cost savings, not only in construction, but also space benefits with right sizing of equipment, mechanical and the like. Again, thanks to the USGBC for recognizing this project as a legacy award.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Sam. And again, cheers. And congratulations to all of those amazing projects in Michigan. So now we will move our friends to a little bit south of Michigan, and we will move on to our Indiana honorable mention. In the category of building design and construction, we're so happy to recognize Butler University Science Complex with an honorable mention. The rehabilitation of 2 existing structures spared an immense amount of time or embodied carbon, and the project included biophilic design throughout and innovative solutions that dramatically reduced bird strikes. Congratulations on the project team. Again, that was an honorable mention for Indiana. And then next, we are going to move on to the awards for Indiana. Our award is in the building design and construction category, and we are thrilled to recognize the Indianapolis Public Library West Perry Branch with the Green Building of the Year award. This 24,000 square foot LEED V4 BD&C Gold Public Library in Indianapolis fills a service gap with sustainable design, smart tech, and a calming nature-inspired atmosphere that benefits all of its diverse patrons. I've also been lucky enough to be able to tour this space as well, and it is beautiful. If you're in the Indianapolis area, definitely stop in and check out some books. So on behalf of the Indianapolis Public Library's West Perry branch, I will invite Lisa Gompertz, principal at Schmidt Associates, to offer remarks. Lisa.
Thank you. Well, I want to first thank the Indianapolis Public Library for the opportunity to work on this amazing project and for their vision and desire to not only create a beautiful facility, but a sustainable facility. I also want to recognize our design partners from HBM that served as the design architects and library consultant, and Powers & Son, who served as the CM, and my team at Schmidt Associates that served as the architect and engineer of record. This Indianapolis Public Library West Perry branch is located on the south side of Indianapolis and serves a unique and growing Spanish and Burmese population. The building's energy efficiency comes from a combination of a white TPO roof, an underfloor air distribution system, and specifically a rooftop solar array that produces up to 75% of the power for the facility. The library shares that information with their guests and patrons with an indoor digital display showing how much power is being generated. Combined, these energy savings systems helped lower the operation costs and resulted in the design team being able to surpass the goal from the owner of LEED Silver and achieve LEED Gold certification. I want to thank the U.S. Green Building Council for this award and for helping to further promote sustainability in our community. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks and congratulations again, Lisa, and both projects in Indiana, and cheers to you also. Okay, so we are going to move on to our friends to the east of Indiana for Ohio. And we're going to do, we have a few impressive honorable mentions for the state of Ohio. The first category is in operations and maintenance, and we are very happy to recognize Tanger Outlets Columbus. You may remember Tanger Outlets in Grand Rapids also received an honorable mention. Tanger Outlets has a commitment to sustainability and are creating fantastic buildings and really focusing on sustainability, which we appreciate. So with all their other developments, you know, the owners really believe that LEED certification for its outlets is good for the environment and good for business, and we definitely agree. This particular LEED V4.1 O&M Gold project in Sunbury, Ohio, meets the goals of leadership is really set to achieve. So congratulations there again. The next honorable mention is for the operations and maintenance category, and we are pleased to recognize Warner Junction with an honorable mention. This LEED BDNC V4 Homes Gold project in Columbus, Ohio, provides sustainable energy solutions and cost savings to residents while providing affordability in a rapidly gentrifying urban neighborhood. Congratulations again to the school project. Next, we will talk about the leadership awards. All right, so the first one we're going to announce is the Building Design and Construction Award category, and we are thrilled to recognize Intro Cleveland with a Green Building of the Year award. This over 350,000 square foot LEED BDNC V4 Gold mixed-use development in Cleveland, Ohio, uses mass timber construction to reduce its carbon footprint, while efficient systems and product selection reduces water and energy use. At the time of completion, Intro is Cleveland's first and America's tallest mass timber project, which is very cool. So on behalf of Intro Cleveland, Steve Willoughby, Vice President of Government and Public Relations for Harbor Bay Ventures, will offer remarks. Steve.
Well, thank you very much for the award. You know, really honored to accept this on behalf of Harbor Bay Ventures. You know, our team built this like the other applicants, you know, during COVID, and to be the largest mass timber building in the United States by volume, and to really showcase the sustainable attributes is something we're very proud of, from not just the mass timber, but our 1 acre green roof that serves over top our parking structure, that we're capturing 100% of the stormwater, you know, and really keeping the Great Lakes great by capturing stormwater and preventing it from going to Lake Erie. You know, the one thing I'd also say is, you know, our Harbor Bay team, you know, lead efforts was led by Evan Williams, who's on this call, but also recognize, you know, Emerald Built Environments for what they did to make this happen. But also, this is a true public-private partnership. You know, this project wouldn't have happened without the leadership of Governor DeWine, the leadership of Director Mahalik at the Ohio Department of Development, the Port of Cleveland, the Greater Cleveland Partnership, the City of Cleveland, Mayor Bibb, as well as Panzica Construction, HPA, as well as Binder Holtz. And, you know, projects require financing. So with the partnership of First National Bank of Omaha, FMBO, First National Bank, and then Boosie Bank, you know, we're really fortunate to have accomplished this and to be recognized by this award. You know, the mass timber and sustainability has really changed the direction of our company, and everything that we're looking at from Atlanta, Georgia to Salt Lake City. You know, everything that we're doing is focused on sustainability, and really honored to receive this award. So thank you.
Fantastic, and congratulations again to your whole team. Okay, next up, I am excited to introduce in the category of LEED for Homes, we are happy to recognize Newhart residents with a Green Building of the Year award. This over 2,300 square foot LEED for Homes V4 Platinum residence in Cincinnati, Ohio, was originally built in 1895 and has achieved net zero energy through deep energy retrofits. On behalf of Newhart residents, Sanyang Rafa, President and CEO of Soul Design and Consulting, will offer remarks. Sanyang, hi.
Yes, thank you, Lana. Good evening, everyone. We are extremely honored to receive this award from USGBC Muthar Deep Energy Retrofit is a very unique project for our office and for our region also. This project is a breakthrough in making existing homes net zero. All of you are familiar with the limitations and the challenges that we can come across if we are trying to make an existing home energy efficient. This 1895 renovation achieved LEED Platinum. From its prior condition, it's a brick building, a brick home. From its prior condition, we were able to reduce the energy use of this home by 86% without any solar or PV renewable energy. And then once we put just a 7.6 kW solar array, which is only about 23 panels, we were able to make it net positive. So not only that it generates the energy enough to fulfill all of its uses, it actually is net positive, and it also charges an electric car for the owner. What's unique about this project is that, as I mentioned, it's an old brick home from 1895. Conceptually, the approach that we took is actually wrapping the whole home with continuous insulation, about 4 to 6 inches of continuous insulation. In our office, jokingly, we call it the Yeti cooler approach, where we've wrapped it entirely from the outside with insulation. In Europe, you see that concept frequently used, but in the US, it's not that prevalent and common, and that's what makes this project unique for our entire region. So and obviously we've used all of the normal high performance principles that we would use: high performance windows, heating and cooling systems, heat pump water heaters, energy recovery ventilation, Energy Star appliances that all contribute towards making this home a net zero home. Very quickly, I would like to thank the owner, Casey Muthard, for pioneering this effort. And as our keynote speaker had mentioned earlier, that it really takes a committed client to follow through with what they decide to do on a project to actually to realize it. And then also just making net zero homes mainstream. As difficult as it is to make any building net zero, which we have seen wonderful examples today, but we know that as the buildings become smaller, as small as 2,000 square feet, it makes it even harder because there's no scale there. So it's very hard to justify the cost to make it net zero. So it really takes the commitment from the owner to follow through with it. Obviously, I'd like to, at the end, thank all of our team at Seoul who contributed to the success of this project, and especially Carl Sterner, who is our Director of Design and Sustainability on our team. This project is the brainchild of him and the owner together. They live in the same neighborhood, they have 2 houses, and they are implementing these strategies collectively on both of these houses. So really kudos to both of them, Carl, who's our Director of Design and Certification, and Casey Muthard, who's the owner. In closing, I'll thank again the USGBC organization and the professional community to honor us, and have a great night and best to everyone.
Thanks so much, Young. Congratulations again. Very cool project. All right, moving on. In the category of Green Building Legacy Award, we are so pleased to recognize Grandview Yard with the Green Building of the Year Award. This 73-acre LEED ND neighborhood development, version 2009 certified neighborhood in Columbus, Ohio, which includes office, restaurants, grocery stores, hotels, and residences. This project is a model for developers and communities nationwide striving to build green, stay connected, and create sustainable environments. On behalf of Grandview Yard, would like to welcome Carly Lamprasik, Associate Vice President of Marketing at Nationwide Realty Investors, and she will offer remarks. Carly.
Thank you. Thank you to the USGBC and the selection committee for the honor, and congratulations to the other project winners. On behalf of the owner and developer Nationwide Realty Investors, which is the real estate development arm of Nationwide Insurance, we're thrilled to have Grandview Yard recognized with the Legacy Award. For those of you not in Central Ohio, as shared, Grandview Yard is actually a $1 billion mixed-use development spanning nearly 100 acres in Grandview Heights, which is a first-ring suburb just outside of downtown Columbus. The project includes about 1.4 million square feet of office, restaurants, retail, hospitality uses, a significant amount of community park space, and 1,500 residences. The project was pre-certified for LEED for neighborhood development in 2013, and then achieved full certification this past November. The designation makes Grandview Yard the first LEED ND certified project in the state of Ohio and the largest in the United States. Really, over the course of a decade, our development work transformed what was once a blighted area an industrial district into a vibrant urban neighborhood, bringing hundreds of high-profile employers, thousands of residences, and some significant economic impact to the area. We are very proud of the project and appreciate the USGBC for recognizing Grandview Yard as a model for green, connected, and sustainable neighborhoods. Thank you for the award.
Great. Congratulations, Carly, to you and all of your team.
Thank you.
So that concludes our awards portion. So congratulations to everyone. On behalf of Mary Ellen and myself and all of our members, volunteers, and partners, we really want to offer a hearty congratulations to all the project teams. If you have a drink, a water, a coffee, whatever it is, beer, cheers. And just congratulations to every single one of those teams. We know how much hard work goes into these projects, and we're so excited that we were able to recognize some of these tonight. Also want to just tell you all, thank you for joining us tonight, for these 2023 Leadership Awards. We're so happy you could be here to celebrate such tremendous showing of leadership from across LEAD projects across our region. I'd also like to thank Rhiannon and our keynote, Anale, for her inspiring keynote remarks. And many thanks again to our volunteer jury members. I'd also like to offer my thanks to all of our volunteers, our MLAB members and our local leadership teams, and especially our planning committee for helping develop this event. Be sure to join us next year. If you're working on projects, please be sure to submit for next year. We'd love to recognize even more projects across the region. And if you know of any great projects, tell them. Let's get some awards out there. We're very excited to do that. So again, on behalf of Mary Ellen and I, we're just really appreciate all of you. So also be sure to follow our newsletters. If you're not already, let us know and sign up so that you can stay engaged in all of our activities we're doing throughout the year. We have a lot of really cool events coming up throughout the end of the year, even locally in every one of the states. So join us, lots more fun and in-person fun as well. And I would now just like to invite all of the award winners to turn their cameras on for a moment. We'd love to just take a quick picture with all the award winners. And then if everybody else wants to stay on for a little bit, we can do a little networking. So first and foremost, just all of the award